Hello, my fellow Jojo fans. It's time for a Jojo review. We pick up where we last left off. This is actually going to be a three-parter. I was imagining that it would just be a two-parter, but apparently Seko is a bigger problem than I anticipated. Oddly enough, they finish off Chocolata before we finish off Seko. So Bruno is fighting Seko for a short while, and Seko's kind of using this technique with his stand to go faster and add more force to his punches. So Seko's stand is called Oasis, from what I understand, and it's a wearable stand. I didn't think it was it didn't pop into my head that he was wearing his stand in the episode before this. I thought he was just wearing some kind of weird BDSM outfit or something. Most of the episode is dedicated to the Chocolata fight. So they climb up to the tower, and that helicopter ain't going anywhere. So Mista, instead of entering the helicopter, Mista just pulls out his 6 pistols and just shoots at it. Oddly enough though, when they get inside, they can't really find him. And then his numbers just start dropping dead from seemingly nothing. So Mista is getting hurt and he can't call back his stands, and the only one left is number 5. If they get number 5 too, then Mista is dead. I don't really know how killing stands works in this show. I mean, are they just like out for the count until Mista's healed? And when Mista heals, will they come back? Or so it turns out what Chocolata was doing was ripping his body apart and hiding himself piece by piece in the helicopter, and then just, I guess, jumping out and killing the stands. It is kind of interesting. He's a doctor, so he kind of knows what to do in order to chop himself up and then still be alive. It definitely wasn't what I was expecting. It's just a bunch of chopped up pieces running around a helicopter. And then he can just stitch himself back together with the help of magic. So he's able to grow his mold on Giorno by getting the sneak attack in there, and he pummels him out of the helicopter. Obviously if Giorno falls out of the helicopter with the mold on, he's going to explode. So number 5 tosses Giorno a bullet that goes right through his hand, and he's able to turn it into a tree, keep it attached to the helicopter. This is a little bit of a complicated plan to explain, but he runs towards with the tree, but since the tree is living, Green Day can use the mold to grow on the tree and break it apart as long as it moves down. So it moves down, tree breaks apart. Giorno, last minute, just as he's falling, kicks one of the pieces of the tree up to the propeller. And that piece turns back into the bullet and just shoots right, it's like the back of his head out of his cheek. So it's kind of a weird spot because he was looking down, I guess, is the idea behind that. Giorno then, I guess, teleports over to the ledge where he's fine, and there's kind of this whole mind game behind this scene where Chocolata's pretending to be dead. I love his face when he's pretending to be dead, too. It's just like... But Giorno knows from the beginning that he has this situation under control. Chocolata thinks he's going to pull one over on Giorno. While Giorno's distracted, one of his dismembered arms is taking Mista and the turtle hostage. Giorno doesn't really even have to move to defeat Chocolata. All he has to do is boop, turn the bullet into a stag beetle and just eating his way out of his brains. I'm a little bit conflicted about the logistics because it looks like the bullet went right through. It looks like it shot through, so it shouldn't be in there anymore. I guess there could have been, maybe fragments of the bullet still inside Chocolata, and that turned into a stag beetle and ate his way out of his brains. And then Giorno goes full-on muda on his ass. I kind of wonder what it's like to be in the room with the voice actor doing It sounded like shots of a machine gun. It's like followed by the screeching of rah! Chocolata goes out with the trash. I do love the fact that he fell into a garbage truck. So I'll be honest, I was almost kind of hoping that, you know, with the helicopter propeller continuously spinning during this entire fight, part of me was kind of hoping that Giorno would like just push him up into the propeller and just grind him. Grind him in the helicopter. I knew that the propeller was going to be used somehow. I was hoping that it was going to be used as a nice little blender. I'm evil. And then we get back to Secco and Bruno is relatively close to the Coliseum. Secco's underground, kind of waiting, and he's looking on his phone, trying to get a hold of Chocolata, but no answer. Then when he realizes that there are 2 messages on his phone, and he listens to one of them. Chocolata basically gives him the info that he had when he was, I guess, hiding in the helicopter. He called him up and told him the situation. And it's interesting. It seems as though they had a plan going forward to eventually defeat the boss and be the rulers of this whole organization. And I would imagine that even the boss, even Diablo, was a little bit like wary of those 2 with the way that he talked about them on the plane earlier. So that would have been interesting if like this whole ordeal didn't even go down, you know? What would a fight between them and the boss look like? So on the phone we find out that Chocolata is in love with Secco, and Secco is in love with Chocolata's sugar cubes. Take from that what you will. But what I really want to talk about is the very last scene. So here we see, in the shadows, this guy in a wheelchair watching with binoculars. And I see him from behind and I'm thinking, huh, is that the guy we're supposed to meet up with? And then we see his face. The binoculars are like slightly covering his face, but I know who that... It's Polnareff! Why didn't I guess Polnareff? I was thinking Avdol and... Oh, what, you think you can fool me because you're using the binoculars to cover his eyes? I know that's Polnareff. I know that's him. Alright. So, how did Polnareff get in a wheelchair? I wanna know this whole backstory right here. Where have you been, Polnareff, during all of this? And he's an older man now, I guess. And apparently his stand doesn't work anymore. Based on what I've heard from the phone call before, he's basically powerless now from what we've been told, but he has information that could be helpful. Is Joseph still around? Yeah, I think about Stardust Crusaders and my mind immediately goes to Joseph. You can't kill off Joseph. He needs to always be alive. I don't care how old he is, he needs to always be alive. I kind of wonder if all the Jojos are going to meet up at some point. I mean, obviously Jonathan is never going to meet, or could he? Jonathan is kind of Giorno's half-dad. That would be really weird, huh? Bring Jonathan back to life, and he's looking around at everyone else, he's like, at some point, all the Jojos have to meet up, right? Right? I don't know. They're all part of, like, very different series. But if you're gonna make, like, all their worlds connect, and you're gonna throw in a lot of older characters into the newer series, I really think that you should have all the Jojos meet up at some point, right? Although, to be honest, for Golden Wind, I've been enjoying a lot of the other characters a lot more than Giorno. No offense, Giorno. You're a little bit boring. I also keep on wondering what Fugo's up to, because I know he's gonna come back eventually. When's he coming back? That would be kind of crazy if he never came back. Or if he came back, but he was on the villain's side. But man, Polnareff is back. Can't fight, but he's got info. Man, that'll be fun, man. Well, I am excited. So the next episode, it's gonna be Secco v Bruno. I imagine that Giorno is going to try to heal up Mista and eventually meet up with Bruno, but for now, it's Bruno versus Secco. It's gonna be a while till they catch up with Bruno, I imagine. I don't know how far apart they are, but, you know, they're on top of a building. The helicopter is still going. Someone should probably turn the helicopter off. And we will see that in the third and, I guess, final part of Chocolata Secco versus the Team Jojo. So, I'm excited. Are you excited? Let me know down below in the comments, and remember to like the video. As usual, thank you guys for watching. Happy Memorial Day, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Program restart.